wonderful Seaside Band. All right, so this morning we have Bob Greer, who will be holding the light, holding the space for this beautiful message that we have this morning from Reverend Christian. So thank you, Bob. Okay, so for announcements, February 25th, we have White Like Me. It's a documentary. This film documents the issues of white privileges and their psychological effects on societal norms. We will be streaming along with 30 other centers here in San Diego and globally. Together, we aim to change the dialogue on race and racism so that our current realities align with our cherished values. And here's a small clip for you.
Put a spotlight on whiteness in a way that other people don't. Why are you committed to doing that? Why is that so important?
Well, I think a lot of times when we do talk about race, even when liberal folks talk about race, we make it seem as if it's just a black person's issue or a Latino issue or an Asian issue or a Native American issue. But the truth is, if it's an issue for people of color, then the flip side is what we also have to examine. I make this point in a lot of my writing and my speeches. You can't have a down without an up, right? So if people of color are discriminated against in housing 2 to 3 million times a year, according to the best estimates we have, that's 2 to 3 million more opportunities for housing for white people. In other words, some people are down, there are advantages for others. If black folks here in New York are being stopped and frisked 2.8 million times over a 5-year period, as we've learned in the current trial, where the NYPD's basically been put on trial. 2.8 million times, hardly any of them arrested for anything, because hardly any of them have actually committed a crime. But white folks here in this city, for instance, when we're walking around, even if we do have drugs on us, even if we use drugs and sell drugs, and the data says white folks do that at the very same rates as the rates that black and brown folks do, we have the luxury of knowing we're not going to be suspected. We're not going to be searched. We're not going to be frisked. We're not likely to be arrested. We're not going to jail. I think unless we talk about the upside of the racial structure, not just the down, we're being dishonest. We're only looking at one half of the puzzle.
Okay, so that'll be February 25th. We're going to have an open dialogue. The movie will be streaming here the 25th at 12:30, and then we're going to have a private discussion, and we're going to open it up to Zoom so we get to see the other centers that are participating in this conversation as well. So February 25th, White Like Me, let's talk about it. February 18th, we have Peace Rocks during service, and we also have Dance of Universal Peace at 7 p.m. And education. So 2018 is the year of education at Seaside. So sign up for John LeBron's class, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity, February 20th. This is a 12-week class that is sure to awaken your creativity. Power of the Word with Reverend Christian starts Tuesday, March 6th. And if you would like to teach an enrichment class for the spring semester, be sure to contact, I forgot to tell you to pull out your pens and papers. Do you have it? Okay, good. Education at seasidecenter.org. There is a table in the back right corner if you want more information for education. March 4th, we have Azim Kamisa. It's a workshop from 1 to 3 p.m. He's going to be speaking on purpose, finding your unique path to peace and fulfillment. Today we have Cafe on Lake, and it is a Sweetheart Southwest salad. Yeah, I remember that one. And there is also chocolate dipped strawberries. So that'll be after second service. Make sure you line up so that you can get your Sweetheart Southwest salad. Season for Nonviolence and Peace, the Art of Compassionate Communication workshop with Jennifer Phillips today after second service will provide us with simple communication skills that will allow us to listen so others really feel heard, transform internal conflicts and judgment of yourself and others, and it costs $25 and includes your book. This has been requested from you guys. It's gone well over in the past, so see Jennifer Phillips. She's around here somewhere. There she is, and there's a table in the back as well if you need more information for that. That's today, guys. And then for Power Up, oh my goodness, I'm always excited about Power Up, but I'm really, really excited. We have Callie Holmes Sorensen. Do you know who that is? Yeah. Yes, she will be speaking at Power Up, and she's going to be talking about enhancing the love in your life. I'm going to be there because it's going to be awesome, and also I'm hosting it, but she's going to be amazing. I already feel it. No pressure, yeah. And we have Peggy Lebo who's going to be performing. So it's going to be an amazing, magical, beautiful evening. And I hope I get to see you all twice this week. And with that being said, I hope you guys were there for the renewal of vows because it was beautiful. And I think I see Adam and Eve walking around somewhere. I think they got lost again, Adam and Eve. Bob's gonna go find Adam and Eve. They get lost all the time. It happens. Oh, there they are.
Here we are in the jungle again.
We are lost again. You men never ask for directions.
Had we bought a legacy paver, we'd know right where the garden was.
Oh, Adam, I miss the garden so much.
Oh, schmookums. With a face like this, there would never be a population problem now, would there? And if we bought a paver, we could always find, like, put an inscription on it.
Yes, like we recommend you don't eat the apples.
And we could visit our pavers all the time instead of being lost in the jungle.
It's a jungle out there. Where do we get these pavers, Adam?
Right back there in the family room.
Really?
Great idea.
Great idea.
Can anybody help with directions?
All right, let's find it.
Thank you very much, Adam and Eve. And with all that being said, we may stand up and greet our neighbors.
Hey, everybody, stay standing this morning. Good morning to you. We're all going to sing our congregational song, I Am Alive with the Spirit of God this morning. Let's get some hands clapping with the band. Come on. I think we're all together. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. Let's do that again. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. Mama. Yeah, give it up for Bob. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. Let's tag that. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. One more time. I am alive, y'all. Alive with the Spirit of God. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. Phenomenal voice of Danielle. Appreciate that. And good morning, everyone. Woo, what a joy it is to be with you on this day of love. Love is the answer. It doesn't matter what the question is, but love is the answer. And I know right now that each of you is a wonderful expression of that love, and you just feel the house is beautiful. I see the gorgeous flowers. Oh my goodness, I see my beloved Callie gave those in honor. 25 years this year we've been married. And so just thank you for sharing that love with everyone. You are our family, that's for sure. And so if you are here for the first time, just know that it's a love fest, and we treat each other like a spiritual family and community because we are. It is a place where we care. We allow that expression of spirit to show up in ways that look like kindness, a place without judgment, a place that celebrates each person's unity with spirit. It is a place where we come together in good times as well as challenges. And today between services, there are 23 couples that renewed their vows of love. So congratulations to all you newlyweds that are here today. And just to make you feel good, Adam and Eve was not one of those couples. So that is good. Yeah, no kidding. But I did see Tim, his beloved, went through some surgery this week and couldn't be here, and they were FaceTiming. I don't know if we've ever done that before. So, Denise, we know you're at home watching, and congratulations to you and Tim, as well as everyone else. And quick healing is yours for sure. So, and hey, if you have your phone, feel free to take it out, take a picture, check in with Facebook, let your crowds and your people know where you are and what's going on. I mean, you got Danielle Tucker, just incredible voice. You got Nathan and Janice going to be singing later. It's going to be a powerful place. Message could be good too. Yeah, you never know. But you got to be here. I can assure you it's about love. But one of the best things we can do with love is not only talk about it, but share it and express it. And so Callie knows that I do have another woman in my life. It's about 21 years. The wonderful partner here at Seaside, Linda Emerson, came wandering in December of actually 1996 and began working here at Seaside as the assistant to the minister in January of 1997. It's been 21 years, never really went big in public acknowledgement because she doesn't like that. But you know what? I told her she didn't have a chance on this Valentine's Day. What I want to do is have you stand up, let everybody love you up. 21 years of tireless, dedicated service, always in before she is supposed to be, always stays way later than she is supposed to be. We'll drop whatever she's doing in case if there's an emergency here to take care of us. And is behind the scenes person you don't know, but she is the one responsible for renting our place and just taking care of things. So it's been a wonderful journey. It's been great fun, Linda. Thank you. And so with that, let's take this a little bit deeper with a wonderful prayer from a powerful prayer. Brian Atkinson has just begun his journey through the School of Ministry starting this semester. So Brian, pray us in.
Good morning. Please join me in the stillness. And I know that God is all there is. God is that all-knowing, all-loving source of divinity and inspiration that permeates everyone and everything. I know that God is in the beauty of the mountaintops, the roar of the ocean wave, and I know that God is right here, right this very moment, here at Seaside, expressing itself through each and every one of us. And I know that we are all one with God. We are one with this source of love and caring and compassion. the source of wisdom and knowledge, the source of all that is and all that will ever be. Closer to us than our breath, that is where God is. And it is because of this that we are heir to all the wealth and all the riches of the universe. For we are God's essence. And I give thanks in knowing that each of us today receives exactly that which we are here for. As the words flow forth from Dr. Christian Sorensen's lips, each of us is touched. Each of us receives a shift, a whole new inspiration. And we, in turn, take that message out into the world and pass it on to others. And consciousness expands throughout the world. And so I simply turn this time over to the God and know that it is perfect.
God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good to me. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good to me.
Thank you, Danielle, for so beautifully reminding us of the goodness of spirit, and our budding minister, Brian Atkins, for his beautiful prayer. Thank you, Brian. Good morning. I'm Reverend Christina Tillotson, and it's my honor to especially welcome you if you're new to Seaside Center for Spiritual Living on this day of love, when we celebrate not only that love of Valentine's Week, but we're celebrating the season for nonviolence and peace, which is honored by the United Nations. It's declared by the United Nations. It's honored in centers and churches and businesses and city councils throughout the country and the world. And it's the time between the assassinations of Dr. King and Mahatma Gandhi. And what we're doing here at Seaside is we're honoring that season for peace and nonviolence throughout this whole time, to absolutely allow us to reveal that peace that is the truth of our being, reveal that love. We're connected with Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a worldwide organization out of Golden, Colorado, and all of our centers are honoring the season for nonviolence. And our vision at Centers for Spiritual Living is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. So if that resonates with you, you are in the right place. So thank you so much for being here. So I get to read some good news as part of the season for nonviolence. Oh, the good news, I don't have a reading about it, but did you hear on the news that we're going to get some rain tomorrow? So I know that we're going to bless every single drop. So a Washington State news anchor, along with the local station that he works for, is paying off over $1 million in medical debt for their viewers. Jesse Jones, who's a cancer survivor and a reporter, went on air earlier this week, and he said the station had bought up the medical debt of 1,000 viewers. They randomly selected the viewers, and they'll be receiving yellow envelopes from the station during the coming week, and they don't even know it's coming. He says medical debt's a subject near and dear to his heart, and he's a cancer survivor who survived medical debt, and he wanted to pay it forward. It just touches my heart how many good people are out in the world. How many watched the Olympics beginning ceremony? How many got God bumps from it? So here's an article about that. The athletes' parade at the opening ceremony occurred in a 35,000-seat stadium with the North and South Koreans entering as one, arm in arm, laughing, smiling, dancing. One guy was on the shoulder of two others, slipped off, and was picked up again. Each carried a tiny white flag with a light blue silhouette of the entire Korean peninsula without the demilitarized zone snaking across the midsection. It was a kind of a magical, emotional moment that only the Olympics can deliver, a gesture of hope and reconciliation amid separation and conflict, a chorus of harmony in discordant times, a crackling fireplace on a frigid night. Speaking with the Korean athletes immediately behind him, like a general backed by his troops, the president of the Olympics said, "United in our diversity, we are stronger than all the forces that want to divide us." On and on it went. The images, the words, and the music. The 2-hour ceremony called Peace in Motion followed the journey of 5 children through space and time on a quest for peace. 4 Korean singers belted out John Lennon's iconic Imagine, while 1,000 residents from the Gangwon province, this is the only province that straddles the border of both North and South Korea, formed a giant dove of peace around them with candles flickering in the dark night. So, what a beautiful seed of peace to be planted. So let's take these ideas into prayer. Going to that place of peace, of love, of light, of spirit flowing through and as all of its creation. From the tiniest atom to the farthest galaxy, that one presence that I call God, and it doesn't matter whether it's called Allah or Adonai or Baha'u'llah or the Force or nature or Snookum Doodles, doesn't matter what it's called. It's that power and that presence of light and love and peace through and as all of its creation. And I am that, and each one here is that. Each one coming in over our podcast is that. Perfect expressions of that light and that love and that peace of spirit revealed right here and right now on this planet at this sacred time. And so I'm knowing that out of this time together, that peace and love well forth from this place out into this state and this country and this world and this universe, allowing that peace that passes all understanding, that perfect love that is the truth of all beings to be revealed right here and right now in this sacred time. And for this light and this love and this peace that is the truth of this time right here and right now and of all beings, I'm so grateful as I release this word to the law, knowing that it is now done in perfect love and in perfect peace. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much. Hey, and I just want to say a very quick thank you to Seaside for being so welcoming to me for the past couple of weeks while I'm covering for Miss Rebecca Jade while she's out shining her light and sharing her talents, and she'll be back next week. But thank you so much for allowing me to be here on Sundays with you. I am always so blown away and in awe of the amazing talent that comes through these doors and performs on this stage. I mean, it's an incredible blessing, and this morning is no exception to that at all. This morning we have a duo that you recognize, Janice Edwards and Nathan Fry. I know you're going to want to go out in San Diego and see them again. They do a steady gig on Friday nights in Hillcrest at Martini's, so be sure to check them out there. But if you would, please welcome Janice Edwards and Nathan Fry.
You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always be around.
You are the apple of my eye. Forever you'll stay in my heart.
I feel like this is the beginning. Well, I've loved you for a million years. Oh, and if I thought our love was ending, yeah, you know I'd find myself drowning in my own tears.
You are the sunshine of my life. That's why I'll always be around. Hey,
You are the apple of my eye.
forever you'll stay in my heart. You must have known that I was lonely, because you came to my rescue. And I know that this must be heaven. How can so much love be inside of you?
Oh, you're the sunshine of my life, my life. That's why I'll always be around. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You are the apple of my eye. Oh, yes, you are. Woo. Forever you'll stay in my heart. How can so much love be inside of you? Hey,
you're the sunshine of my life, my life, my life, my life. That's why I'll always be around.
You are the apple of my eye. Forever you'll stay.
Forever you will stay.
Forever, forever, forever.
That is Janice Edwards, Nathan Fry, forever. How you guys do that? I don't know. That is amazing range you travel to. Thank you for taking us there. Nathan Fry and Janice Edwards, we love you. Woo! All right, so here we are. This is Valentine's Day week. I just encourage you to stretch it out. Get as much love in your world as you can and share it, give it, receive it. And it just helps us during this season for nonviolence. And so this just seems a natural expression to help dissipate the edge of violence in the world is love. And it's amazing. And so this morning's message is love is the answer. It's like, and so what's the question? Well, it doesn't really matter what the question is. Love tends to be the answer. As a kid in junior church, I always, they taught us that God is love. And I learned that whatever the question was from the junior teacher was, that my answer was correct. And I would say, God. God was always the answer, or love is always the answer. You choose to love with whatever's going on. And so when you understand the art of love, your engagement in life begins to change. Because what happens is amazing amount of possibilities begin to open up for you that you never quite knew existed there. And the amazing part of this is that love, or God, is ever available. Spirit has already given all the love, all the goodies, all the blessings, all the grace. The Spirit is, in its allness, already available. The love is already available, but you, that's you. I'm not like, it's you I'm talking about. But you have to have the eyes to be able to see it. You're the one whose heart has to be open to be able to experience it and feel it. And so that's what this morning's message is about, is assisting us to open our eyes and to open our heart to experience the love that is available, that is already present, that is there for us to just enter into it. Because I'll tell you what, there is a lie that is moving in the human consciousness like a virus, and what moves within our mind is the belief that love is not enough. I'm just here this morning to dissipate that and allow you to know that love is the answer, that love is enough, and that we're the ones that have to be willing to get into that place to share it. Because what happens with the human mind is that we're looking to get it. Give me some love. We're looking to get from life. That is the natural human mortal mind, mortal tendency. But I'll tell you, the divine mind, the divine tendency is to, that's right, to give it, to share it, to expand it, to take a look at nature. The sun shines, the rain falls. Here in California, I understand tomorrow, according to Christina, bless her heart, we need believers. And it is, we are the ones that have got to be in that vortex of the giving and the sharing. And as you give, not looking for reciprocation, as you begin to live in that place, healing begins to happen. It's as if you're prayed up in advance because you're living that. It's not about talking it, it's about living it. And you probably this morning saw one of our wonderful greeters that is here week after week, year after year, even a couple decades worth, and that's Jackie Tipple. I mean, we've got Sonny and Michael and a whole bunch of crew, but Jackie Tipple is the one I want to point out because she came up to me this week, and I shared this. And is that okay, Jackie, that I share this? Oh, good. Because I already did it the first one. But anyway, there she stands. I just want you to notice her standing is a miracle in itself, because last year her knee was working, and so went and did the stem cell, and that didn't seem to work either. And so she had a knee operation scheduled for this week, and she came up to me grinning, and I thought, man, that's a miracle, in and out in the same day, and shared with me, you know what, the stem cells kicked in just before the operation, and my knee works again. And it's just amazing. And so that just shares with me, sometimes for the stem cells, it takes a while to kick in, but it's important to continue to believe. But the reason Jackie came to mind is because week after week, she is giving, she is loving, she is sharing, she is helping set the space and to get us in this wonderful place. This is what happens when you just choose to be that giver and lover of life, and choose that love is the answer no matter what's going on. Another story I can share with you is Denise Seidel. She went in on Monday for some spinal operation. She's going to be there for some time in recovery. It's been a long time coming. The surgery was a phenomenal success. And I was visiting her on Thursday, and she said, Christian, when you leave, they're sending me home. And I said, that's amazing. Hopefully you're on the bottom floor, right? Because No, I'm on the second floor. It's like, wow, how are you going to get there? I don't know, but she got there. But, here's the person who served Seaside on the board, sits in that seat, that bubbly, wide-eyed person who just loves, and all of a sudden, amazing transformation in the physical expression of an operation on the spine. Now she's going to be sitting in her house for the next 6 or 8 weeks. I don't know how she's going to get groceries. She doesn't either. So if anybody, she lives around the corner and wants to pick up some groceries for her, give me your phone number. I'll get it to her. You can help her out. But that's the thing. When you love and love and love, you just continue to move forward in that love vibration, and spirit unfolds. Spirit takes care. All of a sudden, family, whether it's spiritual community, comes out of the blue and loves you up and supports you. All of a sudden, spirit shows up in that place of question. But you've got to choose love as your answer and not, oh man, you can't believe what happened to me. No wonder why my life is messed up. It's like you've got to get off that one, because there's like this mania that people like to blame, their childhood for not having had enough love or what happened in that place. And yes, it's important to get and understand what took place, but you're not a kid anymore. Right? And maybe you didn't get love then, but I'll tell you why things aren't healing then. It's because you're not loving now. Healing takes place now. You're a grown-up and you can make new choices irrespective of what happened as a child or what happened in a past relationship or what happened before this moment in time. You have the power to love and to express and to choose love as the option for yourself in life. Are you going to choose love? Yes. Good. That's the right answer, actually. But what happens sometimes, and this, people, I'm in a loving relationship, things are good, or, I've been giving and sharing, and it's good, but you continue to love and give and share at this particular level, which is good and nice, but as the years go on, if you're like still giving or loving at that same level, you might want to take a look at that. Because you want to expand in your experience of love. You want to be able to have a bigger expression of yourself. And so I see this going on. You must be getting ready for this pretzel lady here for me, Mark. But anyway, this one woman in New York, she sells pretzels. She sells pretzels, this is a while ago, I guess, because she sold pretzels for 25 cents on the same corner for years and years and years. And there was this one young guy who every day he'd go to lunch, and he would walk by her and he'd throw a quarter in her jar because her pretzels were $25. And he never took a pretzel. They never spoke. They never said anything. It was just his karmic kind of thing. He put it in there. And after 2 or 3 years of putting the quarter in the jar every day, he walked by and he put the quarter in the jar, and she spoke. Without blinking, she looked at him and said, "They're now 35 cents. I'm telling you, you got to continue to expand your expression of love and caring. I mean, she had chutzpah, let me say. But, if you're not getting what you need in your life, too, you want to be able to speak it in your life and in your world. But not in a manner of controlling. I'm just sharing information here. And you can go to Jennifer's class this afternoon and learn compassionate communication. Did you know? I'm sure you didn't. But by the way, it's now, 35 cents. No. Or I could use some more love or what have you. But it's not from a place of controlling. See, the neurosis I won't say most, but in a lot of the relationships, the neurosis comes when you're trying to get a person to behave how you think they're supposed to behave. Not that anybody does that. But, the neurosis comes when you've got this agenda for this person or for the relationship, and you have this level of expectation, and you're trying to make it happen, you want to make it happen, and you continue to push on your agenda. It creates a little bit of disharmony there. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's a matter of recognizing that I need to let go of that kind of control within the relationship, because control of intimacy, people try to control it with guilt and the agendas, where love is about trusting. The intimacy is about trusting and letting go and surrendering and having it be. But it takes a lot to be able to do that. But love is the answer here. Love is what allows one to move into that place where they can trust that and they can be that and express that. And when one isn't comfortable in that and they're looking for relationships, sometimes they'll move around in relationships. And what I've heard many people share over the years is that they try to make the relationship be something that it's not. And if that person you're with is not a great romantic partner, and that's important to you, then you got to realize that just may not be the person for you. That not all relationships are meant to be great romantic expressions. You've heard me say that, if the train doesn't stop at your station, it's not your train, right? If this person isn't doing that which is important to you, then it may not be that person. And so what happens sometimes is people say, it's not this one, it's not that one, it's not that one. You may want to check the pattern that's going on if it's not this one, and that one. But I listen to these conversations of people who get into this relationship, and it's like infatuation. They get addicted to the attraction, the excitement, the joy, the incredible, expression that is exchanged, and they get a little distance into it, and all of a sudden you got to do the work. Some of that kind of can chill out a little bit. And all of a sudden, they're gone. And wake up the next day, it's like, I thought I was getting into something meaningful, and it turns out there wasn't any meaning to this, and you're left with like a hangover after a wild ride and a stack of credit card slips, and you're wondering, what happened? And then I'll hear him telling the same story again next month. And it's going, and then finally say, gosh, how can I be so dumb? But it's not because they're so dumb. Because I really think if you're paying attention, you probably recognize within the first 15 minutes that this is a drug and that you want it. And that you're not really dumb because you know the game that you're entering into, but you tend to turn your head the other way and believe that it is not so. And all of a sudden, you begin to get engaged in ways that just don't serve you. See, if love is the answer, you can begin to look at yourself and recognize that, look at this pattern that I'm doing. If somebody tells me that you are a wonderful human being, that this is like the most incredible date I've ever been, I can't believe you'd go out with a person like me, and all this is within the first hour, that's like flashing red lights for any thinking person. It's like, really? How do you know that much? I need to pay a little bit more attention here. And you say, how do I keep attracting relationships like this? It's not that you keep attracting relationships. The problem is you keep giving them your phone number, If you remember to go back to a place of love, love is the answer here. You come to recognize that you are entitled to an extraordinary life that is filled with love and kindness and caring and compassion and camaraderie and collaboration. It is right to be able to live that wonderful idea. And freedom, according to Wayne Dyer, says that freedom means you are able to experience unobstructed vision of your choice. Anything less than that means you're living in slavery. Unobstructed vision of your choice. That's what freedom is. And if your vision is to be in a relationship that is meaningful, then it's available to you. Because as I started this morning saying, you know what? The secret here is the love always is. Spirit is omnipresent. Spirit is love. But I need to have the eyes to see. I've got to open my heart to become available. I've got to drop my games and my patterns so I'm willing to move into the real work and the magic of relationship. I mean, Callie and I, 25 years. Thanks for those flowers. They are just beautiful, But I mean, those are the surprises that happen 27 years later. The magic of creation, the strength. We find that we are stronger together. I mean, I got a powerful woman that shares her life with me, but as individuals we're strong, but together we're able to create. Callie was part of the very first meeting place I was in Del Mar when we started Seaside. And together we have loved upon Seaside. Together we have created a family. Together we have created wonderful real estate opportunities. Together we have brought forth vision and conversations and live as an example of love. And what I've come to discover is in togetherness, in relationship, in loving at the best of our ability, we're able to express life in a more powerful way. And what I've come to discover is by committing to this relationship, relationship, I find a greater sense of freedom in who I am and what it is I have to share, because I can say to the world, this is who I am, and I don't question, does it fit in? No, I know my priority is family, and that, it has to integrate into my world. And of course, we make blunders or I have made blunders in my relationship. Callie's been perfect, for all these years. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, with love, there's amazing things that are possible if you choose, in the midst of a question or a challenge or a blunder, if you choose love as the option. That love is the answer, even when you don't really know what's going, what it's all about. What's here. Darkness isn't. It's dispelled with light. Love is dispelled, or fear is dispelled with love. I gotta get those right. That's important. Darkness, you can't take out a stick and just beat it away. There's nothing to hit. But the light is what makes it go away. Love is a key for dealing with fear. Fear, you can't go and beat it up because it doesn't really exist there. But if you choose to bring love into the scenario, into the picture, all of a sudden the magic and the wonder and the beauty of spirit unfolds in ways that are incredible, that will take life to that next level, to the next level of possibilities. But you're the one who has to say, you know what, I'm available here for love to show up. Love is the answer, so show me, Spirit, because I have to expand my perception. I have to expand my eyes. I have to open up my heart so I can see as God sees a situation that is appearing dark, and love is what allows it to show up and to enter into expression. And when you do that, you begin to see miraculous ways showing up that you never knew were possible. But you have to go into it. You can't just walk away to the next infatuation. You can't just walk away. You've got to, whatever wall you come to, you've got to eventually move through it, which is why I say practice with the one you got. It's like work your best to make this relationship work, because love is the answer. Not always do relationships supposed to go the distance, but there's a good possibility if you bring love to it, the art of love, you have a new engagement in life that presents amazing possibilities that you never knew existed. Wonderful story. I'm sure I've shared with you because I like it. It's a good Scandinavian story. But Sophie's here, so I'll fess up. It's Swedish. Danes don't like me admitting that, but it's a Swedish folk tale of the Princess Eris. And Eris is, her mom and dad are king and queen, and they made a bad blunder, and they ended up having to betroth their princess daughter to the dragon, which when they told Eris, she was not pleased. And she ran to the outskirts of town where there lived a grandma, a wise woman, a mom of 12, a grandma of 29, who knew the ways of dragons and men, and told her what she needed to do on her wedding night, which included wearing 10 gowns, one on top of the other, and a few other things for that night. And so the day of the wedding went great. The feast was fabulous. At the end of the feast, the dragon swoops up his bride, takes her off to the bedchamber, and starts to make his move. And she says, "Oh, wait a sec. I need to take off my gowns. But as I take off, one of my layers, you need to take off one of yours." He said, "Hey, no problem. I'll do that." And so she removes the first gown and drops that. And he, digs his fingers in and removes his first layer of scales. It hurts. But he's shed scales before, so he was able to do that. Well, then she removes her next garment, and he has to go a little bit deeper and remove his next layer. And she proceeds to the next layer, the third and the fourth. Finally, the fifth, he's digging those nails in deep into that skin, and just, copious tears pouring down his face. The pain, the agony, the rawness, the exposure, and down to the third and the second. Finally, she drops her last garment, and he digs his nails in the farthest yet, and just pulls forth, and out steps a beautiful prince. His eyes are twinkling. He is young and buffed and everything a princess deserves. And they go and fulfill that last piece of information the wise woman told her about. But I share that story because like a dream. We are all characters in that. We are that innocent princess. We are the dragon who has the layers of protection and scales upon us. We are the king and the queen who has made the blunders or the mistake. Or we are that one who sent that enchanted spell so many years ago, we forgot who they are. The prince that comes out from that encasement. We are all aspects, but we have to go through those layers. We have to be willing to sit in that pain, which is why we have to stay working with the ones we've got in our life so we can continue to go deeper into that place of intimacy and trust to expose ourselves and to be vulnerable. The skin that we remove from the outside allows us to be more vulnerable, to be more intimate, to be more truly available, to share from a place of love. For that presence of God only shows up in our life when it is love, but we've got to be willing to allow individuals to be who they are so they can feel safe to expose the truth of who they are. What happens so often in relationships, particularly in the earlier days, but you sit there in judgment of that person. Really? You wimp. Why didn't you stand up for me? Or really, or you sit there like they're auditioning. Let's see here. Now, can you really fit this one? Not that anybody makes lists for relationships anymore, right? Well, that's not much response there. But I got to know if I can really love you. I got to. But you know what? You got to really love somebody before you can really understand them. Got that? You've got to love somebody before you can really understand how that prince put those layers of protection on. How is it that this situation got to be a particular way? What is going on that I need to understand here? In a couple counseling, the couple had split and the guy had already gotten involved in a relationship and they were back counseling. And she said to him, or she said to him that you only, like her or love her because she was always telling you how wonderful you are. And he said, yeah. That may have something to do with it. Yes, it is important to be able to share that love, to share that because you're an extraordinary human being, entitled to experience the full grace and the blessings and the goodness of love. But it takes some work beyond just 25 cents is the way all I've given thus far, and I will continue to do. It's good enough. It's held us together, and we're moving to the end of life together on my 25 cents of love. No. How can I love more? How can I contribute more? How can I show up with surprises that are unexpected? There is an expression of that we get to be of spirit in our life when we choose to do that and to know that how it shows up has got to be okay. Our son Trevor, you've heard me share stories about his ability for social interaction is not high. For 18 years, you've heard me talk about Trevor, and he's yet to come in here after he was old enough to say he isn't. And he sits he's in my office right now watching his YouTube stuff. But anyway, so this week in high schools, I guess really across the country, was the senior dance night. And the senior dance is a big to-do in people's lives. And Callie, she loved her school days. I mean, she was social. She still has her friends from high school days and loved the dances and the cheerleading, the football, and all those kind of things. And she was always excited about Trevor, going out to that. That's what mom likes dressing up their kids feel. And so what was exciting is Tim T-Bone, he created a senior dance for classrooms with special needs in 500 different high schools. Beautiful thing. So these kids had a high school dance experience. So Friday night was the dance, and all of Trevor's classmates were going. Trevor, no way. He's not going. And Trevor, he really didn't care. But sitting there Friday night with his mom on the couch looking at Facebook at all of Trevor's buddies dressed up in tuxedos and shiny shoes and the girls in their fancy dresses and watching mom's eyes tear up in the pain. I mean, I wanted Trevor to win the national championship quarterbacking football. But mom wanted her kid at least to go to the senior dance. And looking at those people walking down in those suits and ties. I mean, why would any guy in his right mind want to wear a tie? You know, it's like particularly a bow tie that's choking you. You know, and Trevor says, I'm not going to. And he's very clear. There is nothing to hide here. He is clear. I am not doing that. And so what is important, I think, in relationships sometimes is to honor the people or the loved one or the beloved or the somebody you are with, whether it is a business relationship, a personal relationship, an intimate relationship, a family member. You got to sometimes let it go, because if you don't, there's something that will stand between you and that person. And so forgiveness is just removing what is standing between you and that other person. And that comes back down to choosing. The answer is love here. I love you even if you don't go to the dance. I love you even if you have made a blunder, and if you're choosing to get on this right path, and we are united together in the vision that lies before us. Forgiveness is just rearranging your perception a little bit. You know, as soon as you change the now moment, what happens is those things in the past begin to take on a different perspective. They begin to shift in a way that is peaceful, or at least able to settle in. You can't change the physical facts of the past, and if the mom didn't love you, or the family didn't love you, or something happened back then, you can't go back and change the physical things. But as I was saying earlier, what you can do is love now in this moment, which will change the perception. See as God sees. God, show me here, because I sure don't get it, man. That was not good. You know, God, help me to change my perspective. I mean, I really think you should be seeing my buddy as an absolute idiot. But you know what? God doesn't see my buddy as a jerk. And so, Spirit, I need to see as you see, with a loving heart, a caring heart, because love's the answer. At least that's what Christian is saying here. So I need to be able to see in a new kind of way what is going on. There's something else here, and I'm not seeing it. You know, there's this king who put out a contest. I should save this story for next week since it's kind of peaceful, but we are in the season, so it works today too. But you know, there's this king who decided to hold a contest, and he wanted to hold a contest and give a prize to whoever could paint the best peaceful-looking painting. And everybody painted, and everyone was sure the one that was going to win was this beautiful mountainscape, snow-capped mountain peaks, just spectacular on these majestic mountains reflecting off a still lake. You've probably seen that. And the pine trees are just glistening in the sun, but yet they're glistening on the lake below, and you got the blue sky and the white billowy clouds. You got that image? Peaceful, right? Everyone was sure this was it. But the king didn't go with that. He chose the picture that had a similar landscape in the sense that there were mountains, but they were rough, jagged mountains. And the pine trees were bending in the wind, and the lake was all wavy and ripply, and the sky wasn't blue, but it was gray, and there were thunder clouds, and the lightning was striking. And he chose that one because, if you look closely at the picture, there is a bush sitting in one of the ravines, that in the bush is a bird's nest, and in the bird's nest is a mother bird sitting on her brood, and with just a sense of peace. And he said, peace isn't only when things are calm, but to be able to have the noise and the confusion and the chaos, and to be able to remain at peace is an amazing expression of peace. And so you are continually given the opportunity. Am I going to love enough in this moment to find the peace, to find the blessings, to see as Spirit sees, as to open my... How do I do that? Well, the answer is love. God is love. The answer is love. So what can I do? Well, you can be crazy and come up with ideas you haven't tried before. I mean, look at Adam and Eve in here. That was something we've never tried. There was someone who got a dozen flowers and gave it to his beloved. And 11 of them were real flowers, and there was one fake flower. And he says, I will love you until the last flower dies. You know, so there's just all sorts of ways you can choose to express the love, to care, and to give. But what's important for you to remember, no matter what is going on, if you're being attacked, if something's going on in your world, the answer is always love. So whatever the question is, remember, love is the answer. God bless you. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring back to the stage Nathan and Janice.
less than I should be. And I just can't face the day when darkness falls around me, and I just can't find my way, when my eyes don't clearly see, and I stumble through it all. You I lean upon, you keep me strong, and you raise me when I fall.
You are there when I really need you. You are there so constantly. You come shining through. You always do. You are always there for me.
When life brings me to my knees, when my back's against the wall, you are standing there right with me, just to keep me standing tall. Though a burden I may be, you don't weary, you don't rest. You are reaching out to carry me, and I know I'm heaven blessed.
You are there when I most need you. You are there so constantly. You come shining through. You always do. You are always there for me. You are there when I most need you. You are there so constantly. You come shining through.
Oh, you always do.
Oh, you are
But you're
always there for me. You are there when I most need you. You are there so constantly. Oh, you come shining through.
And you always
Oh, yes, you do.
Yes, you're always there for me.
You are always there.
Yes, you're always there.
You are always there for me.
That is Janice and Nathan. Whew. That's beautiful. Gosh, love song to God. I like that for sure. You guys ever wonder why Callie slips out that door after the song? It's because Trevor's in there every week. So if you've been wondering anywhere in the last 18 years we've been here, That's what's going on. Anyway, hey, this is time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our giving and the sharing and the expressing of our love. It is an opportunity for us to move beyond the flowing level in which we have expressed in our life to begin to expand to something even greater. This is a moment in which we get to put that love into action, into practice. And as you give, it comes back. And if you're giving in an expanded way, what you're going to find coming back is an expanding good in your life. And it shows up in ways that are relevant, whether it's in your body, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in finances, whether it's in career. What you get to experience when Spirit is, you're in partnership with the infinite, you get to experience the infinite good showing up in relevant ways in your life. So with that, I want to invite our ushers to come forward as we take our gift from our heart and our soul and our spirit. I want to say thank you to those who mail in your contributions. When you can't be here, it's greatly appreciated. Linda pulls them out of the mailbox quite often, so she knows about your love. Or those that are part of our auto tithe, that regular systematic supporting from your world into Seaside, that consistency is just so important. And those of you who are at home, we're hearing from you every week now, so lots of love. Sandy, I see sitting in the front row after a month or so of significant surgical, life-saving expressions, to see you here. And there you shared with me how much you enjoyed watching it from home. So I'm grateful to have you back in your seat where you belong and cheering us on. And just keep. Beautiful. Thank you. We can feel that. So thank you. Thank you to at home. Thank you to all of us. It's gratitude, it's grace and gratitude where it's at. So I'm going to pray, and then you're going to watch our kids coming in. They got little love notes for you. I see them walking in now. So somebody's tapping you while I'm praying. Open your eyes. It's a divine touch and grace from God and the angels. But feeling that love right now, feeling that divine download, I stand before the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the fullness of Spirit has its way, enriching our very experience. For what I know right now, as we have said yes to be that conduit through which the infinite passes into form, I find there is a richness and a blessing, a deep sense of security and peace that comes by living in that wonderful expression of love. So choosing to be in that place of giving and expanding on the front end, I find that I'm prayed up in advance. I am abundicized in advance. I am just living in the wonderful flow of Spirit and finding all is taken care of. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this opportunity to move it from conceptual into practice of being in that flow. And so it is. Amen. Together, let us say this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Our guys from Seaside, great job. And so as I stand before this abundance, I can feel the outpouring of love, the outpouring of caring, for truly this is a blessed moment in which our very experience in this world has been enriched because we have chosen to be an expression through which that vibrant source, that abundant source of Spirit moves and blesses and just activates every cell of our physical being. Grateful to be an activated, conscious expression of that infinite source. We send this forward into Seaside. It is received and handled in good stewardship, and it's sent forth back into life, bringing the blessings of love and good and joy to all those it comes in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this opportunity to share this light and life, and so it is. Amen. All right. It's Marty Klein. He is your newest elected member to your board of trustees. One of those beloved usher greeters at every 9 o'clock service on that front door. So just thank you, thank you. And speaking of thank you, oh my goodness, Janice and Nathan, you guys are just fabulous. Just thank you so much for being part of our family, and just the love you bring all time and time again. Danielle, just thank you for being part of our family. Driving down from Pomona, just sharing your life. You're just a part of what Seaside is. We love you. Dr. Christina, wonderful stories. You brought us the good news from the good doctor. Thank you very much. Giving us sound today is Matthew, and giving us the visual is Marv. Great job, guys. Appreciate that. And know that there's CDs available after the service if you ever want to pick one up. And a big shout out to the Crawford live streaming crew in the corners of the sanctuary, the couple or three that are in the control room, live editing. Just appreciate being able to share this to the world. Our viewership continues to grow. We know that you're there because you're communicating with us, and it's just fabulous to hear that. So take a look at the program, see what's going on. What classes are starting today, as you heard. Just Jennifer has got a wonderful class on compassionate communication that is going on. So that is available to you. Let's see, next Saturday, the men's breakfast group is going on. Sunday, we have a memorial service for Seaside's official photographer who is no longer photographing from this side of the veil, Ken Waleski. You're invited to be part of the celebration of his life. Next week, we're doing peace rocks. We're going to give you a rock and let you paint peace on it. Also, the 25th, just give you a little bit more heads up. Kat did a great job explaining, but one of the things that we are doing here is we're partnering with other New Thought centers around the country. It started here in San Diego. Wendy Craig Purcell at Unity said, you know what? Let's do something during the season of nonviolence that makes a significance. Let's talk about, the equal rights of everybody, equality. And there's this powerful film called White Like Me. You saw a little clip of it today that will definitely stir people. But you know what? If all of the centers for spiritual living take a stance for equality, which is about as spiritual as you can get, that, people aren't going to say, hey, again, political on us. Rather, you know what? It's at Unity. It's at Bonita. It's going on in San Clemente. It's going on at Hillcrest. It's going on in Fallbrook. It's going on in 30 different centers across the country. They are showing the film White Like Me at the same time, followed by dialogue called cafe-style dialogue. We're going to sit here and all going to discuss it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and put it into the room, and we're going to get up a concise statement, and we're going to, it's like Skyping, but it's Zooming now, where all of a sudden 30 locations are going to come up on the screen, all the different locations. We're all going to be together in this room sharing what it is, that a spiritual perspective of what, it's going on. If we're taking a look at white privilege, which is what that film is about, how can we change our perspective to be able to create a greater sense of spiritual equality on the planet? And so what we're saying is we're bolder together, that it's not just Christian getting a wacko sidetracked, but you know what? New Thought movement as a whole across the country is taking a look at the spiritual expression of we're all brothers and sisters. So you can be up for that? Okay. No cost for that. I mean, you can have, Sharon's going to make lunch like she's making lunch today. I guess she's making a Sweetheart Southwest salads for you. And Ramon helped too. And so thanks, Ramon. Appreciate that. Always. So, and last announcement I have, Wednesday night, my beloved Callie is going to be doing a service, like the first time we've actually given her, after 25 years, the opportunity to deliver the message in one of the regular services. I mean, her women's group, she talks to hundreds all the time. She's done the chargers to thousands of people at convention center. Finally, at Seaside, Wednesday night, she is going to share with you spiritual partnership, give you the insights as to how to create the love in your life, how she created me. You've heard enough from me on how to be able to. Anyway, so Wednesday night is going to be a great service here, 7 o'clock. Come be part of that evening. It's actually Valentine's Day. It's a great date. You'll be happy you came into this wonderful field of love. You know, Callie, she does flowers all over the place. She makes the environment nice. So, but I want to pray. Healing is the thrust of our movement since its conception. I want to invite any of our religious science practitioners just to stand where they are. And invite all of us to feel that upliftment. Because this spiritual message is about heart. It is about expression. It is about action. It's great to know that God is love, but what does that look like? It's great to know that Spirit is joy, but how does that manifest? And that is what we get to do in this moment as we come into that divine realization and recognition of that which Spirit is, which is love and joy and truth. It is an expression of the wholeness. It is the very essence of our being. It is the life from which each of us arose, emerged into this world of form. And we walk this planet, this dimension, this frequency, as a divine emanation of that presence of God. Feel the truth of who you are. Feel that presence of God that is moving through you in this moment. For it's in this wonderful acquiescence to that higher vibration of your true self that wonderful transformation and healing happens. And it's not because I need to tell the infinite wisdom what it needs to do. It's not because I have been called forth to police the universe and tell God this is what needs to take place, but rather I am one with this wonderful movement, this expression of life itself. For the presence of God moves in this moment. Feel it and sense it and know that is the truth that heals and transforms. And so as I open myself up to be receptive to that greater vibration of being, healing happens. For that intelligence that guides the universe is the same wisdom that is moving in our individual lives right now. Get your bloated nothingness out of the way and allow that infinite wisdom to activate and reignite you at the very cellular level of your being. For when this happens, healing happens in the body. The body comes back into expression of wholeness. The body comes back into alignment, the balance, the weight, the heartbeat, the perfect systems operating at divine intention. For that innate blueprint is operating in totality in this moment. Feel a sense of comfort in your body. And know that it has begun from within, and from this place in consciousness it emanates out in your world of form, begins to line up and support. All of a sudden there seems to be a greater flow of goodness and blessings and riches. That it is right to walk this world in an abundant kind of way. Abundanza, as Gene Houston tells us. More than enough that flows into our individual lives because we have chosen to live on purpose in alignment. The alignment of the spirit, the soul, and the body reflects in our work, in our environment, in our family, in our relationships. The intimacy becomes so real that I'm willing to remove the last vestige of protection and allow myself to be seen before those I truly love. The great experience of expanding good has its way in a particular relevant way as each of our life here and now. Success, fulfillment, wholeness, abundance, love, the natural expression of our life experience. So grateful to know God is having its way in this moment. And if there's anything that any of us is holding on to, lift it into this light and allow Spirit to have it. For His Spirit, all things are possible. Every prayer in our prayer request chest is now answered. The healing manifestations of Spirit continue to have its way within the body, within the field of this community. Every member of this spiritual family and our friends and our guests move to a greater conscious connection with that infinite source and the blessings and the grace that brings. And Seaside continues to be lifted. We continue to be a growing, thriving spiritual community that cares and loves and just embraces each who walk through our doors, no matter where we may be on our spiritual path, there is a sense of welcoming here. So grateful to know that God unfolds in this moment its blessings. I go forth from here enriched with gratitude and appreciation for the words that have been spoken that are the truth. I let go and just allow Spirit to have its way. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Yes, and this is what you got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Let's hear you, Seaside. Struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah.
Hey, and our affirmation is, love loves me. Together, love loves me. Again, love loves me. Touch your heart and say it again. Love loves me. And again, love loves me. Again, love loves me. One more time, love loves me. And our song of grace.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. 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 Have a great Sunday. Have a great week, everyone.